Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to do my biggest ranking today, ranking every coaster I've ever ridden. Today is part 2 where I will go from 30 all the way to 1. Let's get into it. Number 30 is Wicked Twister. This coaster is a very fun one and my only defunct credit is Wicked Twister is a very fun ride. It gets a little overpossessed, which was featured in the last video because both sides twist on Wicked Twister, unlike Possessed. Number 29 and 28 are the Flight of Fear clones at Kings Island and Kings Dominion. These are decent rides, but you always get let down there in the middle section with the mid-course brake run completely stopping you. Number 27 is Skyrocket at Kennywood. This ride would actually be really fun, but the end does let it down a lot. The rest of it is actually really underrated. Number 26 is Gatekeeper. This ride, I've never been the biggest fan of this coaster. It can have a rattle from time to time, and that's why it's lower. Next is Banshee. Don't click off the video. Let me explain. When I rode this, there was a big rattle. I don't know if it was just the seat I was in or the row I was in or what, but it was very rough. I really enjoyed the layout and speed, though. Number 24 is Tumbilili. I came into this one with low expectations, and I was surprised because I got 3 or 4 flips on it and multiple half flips, and it was the first and only free spin I've ridden, so that does help it. But coming up next is number 23, which is Diamondback. It didn't have any airtime when I rode it. I wanted airtime so bad, and I rode in the front row and the second to back row and didn't get nothing. When I rode it in the back, it was later in the day, so I was hoping it would warm up, but it didn't. But it was still pretty fun. I just remember coming off the ride disappointed. Number 22 is Steel Force. I got ejector on this thing. It was very fun, even though not the graceful, smoothest or Diamondback, the ejector airtime made up for it. In that turnaround, you get some major laterals. Number 21 is Space Mountain. I mean, it's a classic. The theming is everything. It's very fun, and it's a very purely fun coaster. Now, entering the top 20, it is Valravn, a very fun coaster at Cedar Point. This coaster is Valravn. The dive feature is pretty nice, and this is a very smooth coaster. I really like it, but it's not as good as Thunderstriker or Intimidator at Carowinds. Why do they call this Intimidator? Because I got no trims on this ride. Decent airtime, and Kings Island fans, don't kill me that I put this above Diamondback. I'm sure Diamondback was just running off that day. Number 18 is Dominator at Kings Dominion. This is a great ride, and it's very fun and smooth, and a very smooth ride. So next is number 17, which is Talon at Dorney Park. This ride is very underrated. It is decently whippy, smooth, intense, and very good. Next is number 16, which is Raptor at Cedar Point. The 5th B&M in a row is Raptor. This ride is so smooth. It can get a little rough, but the intensity makes up for it. Especially entering the second half of this ride, it gets really intense once you get lower to the ground. Also, entering the second half of this video, it's Copperhead Strike at Carowinds. This is a great ride with lots of hang time and a little bit of airtime in there. Bunch of inversions, a very good coaster. Number 14 is the Beast at Kings Island. This awesome Kings Island Woody still holds up to date with its long layout and laterals and airtime that makes this a great ride. Next is number 13, which is Afterburn. This is incredibly underrated. The invert is super intense and whippy. Overall, a great ride. Next is number 12, which is Orion at Kings Island, which is an awesome coaster. It's very fast, smooth, a little airtime. It's just the layout that's not that great and lets it down. But next is Shivering Timbers. This ride is absolutely bonkers. Remember how I said Blue Streak is so rough? It's airtime. Just think of that, but like 10 times better than Blue Streak. I absolutely love this ride, but I like Millennium Force more. Entering the top 10, we have Millie, a great coaster that is smooth airtime, packed and intense, all you could want in a good coaster. But what's better than that would be Magnum. I love Magnum. It's a great airtime packed aero hyper. I love it. It is very fun, especially on those little triangle hills. They literally might hurt your thighs, but it's definitely worth it. Next is number 8, Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. This is an awesome GCI wooden coaster. It is very intense, super fast paced with tons of airtime. This is my favorite Kings Island coaster. Next is number 7, which is Maverick. This awesome Cedar Point ride is super intense on the transitions, and the drop and airtime hills are awesome. So are the launch and inversions. This is really a great coaster. But you know what's better is Twisted Timbers at number 6. This awesome RMC with loads of airtime, especially the triple airtime hill after the first turn, is absolutely insane. I absolutely love this ride. But next is number 5, which is Top Thrill 2. I'm not even going to say anything about it because you could watch my review, link in description. Number 4 is Fury 325 at Carowinds. This ride is absolutely insane. It's very fast and low to the ground ride, absolutely nuts. But entering the podium in the bronze medal goes to Phantom's Revenge. As you can see with this top 3, I love out of control rides, and this is no exception. Unlike Fury, which is more smooth and graceful, Phantom's Revenge is still smooth, which I like in rides, but absolutely out of control with the transitions and the ejector hills, which are 100% worth the hype. Taking silver is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. I love this ride so much. It has so much airtime and also third best moment of airtime I've ever experienced with that first turn and how it has it all. It has airtime, inversion, laterals, intensity, literally everything. But it still wasn't good as the ride taking the gold. And number 1 is Project 305 or Intimidator 305. I already ranted about that name in a short, but it's insane. 5 Gs in that first turn, 3.5 Gs to 5 Gs in 3.8 seconds. It's insane how it does that with that low to the ground first turn. Decent bit of airtime too, fast, awesome transitions. All the other turns are very intense too. It's not just about that first turn. Everything about this ride is absolutely insane. But that's my ranking. Here's the Top Thrill 2 video here. Here's the Top Thrill 2 video here to hear more. And the other video is what YouTube thinks, so the algorithm's always right, so you should click that. Anyway, see you next time.